Welcome. In this video, we will cover the installation of a TRC Plus series centrifugal pump, part of Viking Pump's hygienic line. Before you begin, please consult the appropriate technical service manual for safety information. A copy of the latest revision can be found on our website at vikingpump.com. To begin, place the stainless adapter on the motor flange. Install the 4 mounting bolts and tighten to the proper torque value. Torque settings can be found in the service manual. The correct operation of the pump depends on the clearance of the impeller from the backplate and the correct attachment of the stub shaft on the motor shaft. First, position the stub shaft collar with the corresponding Allen screw loosely on the stub shaft, and then place the stub shaft on the motor shaft. It must be able to freely slide in and out. Align the motor shaft keyway with the slots on the stub shaft and the collar. Place and fix the backplate onto the adapter and turn it in a counterclockwise direction, locking the backplate pins onto the adapter pins. Note: to perform the next steps, you may need to pull the shaft back out slightly. Add the back impeller gasket, shaft key, and impeller to the shaft. Add the front impeller gasket and impeller nut and tighten by hand. Insert a 3/8 inch steel rod into the hole on the stub shaft to prevent the shaft from rotating. Torque the impeller nut to the appropriate torque setting. Place a spacer of 70 thousandths of an inch between the impeller and the backplate. This is the proper clearance required. Secure the stub shaft in this position by tightening the drive collar to the appropriate torque setting. Confirm that the impeller spacing is still correct. At this point, the motor adapter is mounted, the stub shaft is fixed to the motor shaft, and the appropriate impeller clearance is set. You're now ready to install the seal. Reinstall the 3/8 inch rod into the stub shaft to prevent shaft rotation and remove the impeller nut. Remove the impeller, gaskets, and key. Turn the back plate clockwise and remove. The D-type seal, shown here, consists of a drive collar, spring, seal cup, carbon rotary face, and O-ring. It should be assembled as shown with the drive collar key aligned with the slot in the cup. Slide the entire seal assembly onto the stub shaft until the drive collar stops against the step on the stub shaft. There will be resistance between the O-ring and the stub shaft, so press firmly, but use care not to press directly on the face of the seal to avoid scratching or otherwise damaging the face. Place and fix the backplate onto the adapter and turn it in a counterclockwise direction, locking the backplate pins onto the adapter pins. Slide the seal against the backplate. The spring should be compressed, trapping the O-ring between the seal face and the seal collar. Lock the seal collar set screws to the stub shaft. The stub shaft should turn easily by hand. If not, check to make sure the seal components have been properly installed. Reinstall the back impeller gasket, shaft key, and impeller to the shaft. Add the front impeller gasket and impeller nut and tighten by hand. Insert a 3/8 inch steel rod into the hole on the stub shaft to prevent the shaft from rotating. Torque the impeller nut to the appropriate torque value. Confirm that the impeller spacing is still correct. Place the casing gasket onto the groove on the backplate. Take the casing and place it onto the adapter, positioning the discharge port in the desired orientation. Place the clamp assembly around the casing and tighten the screw to close the clamp. A soft mallet may be used to make minor adjustments of the casing when installing. Turn the shaft by hand to confirm that the impeller doesn't rub against the casing. The assembly should turn easily without restriction. If there is any sound or sensation of rubbing, check the whole assembly, disassemble, and start again. To complete the assembly, place the protective guard on the adapter. It is fixed with a bolt to the adapter. For safety reasons, you should never operate the pump without the guard in place. Your Viking pump TRC Plus Series centrifugal pump is now installed and ready to be put into service. For more information, please visit our website at vikingpump.com.